evening. It is the Devolver Big Happy Press Conference recap. And joining me here, equally big and happy, we have Bonesaw.
Hi.
Bonesaw, how much money have you given to the great causes of such things as, I don't know, microtransactions, pointless DLC?
Easily $150.
Easily $150. Excellent. That's qualified. You're welcome to be on the recap tonight.
That's what loot box coin is up to right now, so that's what I'm sticking to.
That's what you're sticking to. It might be a little bit different value later in the show. We'll find
out.
Also with us, we have a classic games collector, NES Classic, SNES Classic, Sega Dreamcast. We've got Krulius.
That's me. I'm famous for that, I think, actually, for repainting my Dreamcasts and then throwing them into the garbage, I believe, actually. Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. So, wow, we have so much to talk about with this Devolver show. And first of all, we let's see, where do we even begin with this? Well,
can I actually suggest the very first thing? A very small topic, but I'd like to begin with it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So the very first thing I noticed in the whole conference, which later was sort of explained a little bit, but that made me realize I was going to enjoy it, was that a guy was clapping a banana peel.
Yes.
It wasn't the guy with the banana. He just had a banana and he was clapping the banana peel as part of the gesture, which I appreciated.
There was an ongoing theme of like the banana was showing up everywhere. I mean, like the guy was clapping it, and then there was a little bit later in the show they cut to somebody else and they had a banana. And yeah, I definitely saw the banana theme in the show. So bananas everywhere.
Yeah, and then let's see. What did you guys think of Cinco? Wasn't that his name?
So let's go through it here. So Cinco Miller, the very permanent CEO of Devolver, walks out onto the stage. By the way, I love the camera cut to the old lady with like the perm.
Yeah, I noted my favorite stock footage. Do we have? Okay. Does everybody have a favorite stock person?
Should we go through? Let's go through favorite stock footage.
Yeah, okay.
Who did you like? Okay, go ahead.
My favorite was there's these two guys that Nina later says something that isn't funny at all, and they absolutely lose their shit, and they just laugh like it's just quiet, but they're just losing their shit.
Is it the suit guys?
Maybe.
Like the two bald guys, like
yes,
receiving airline guys.
Yes.
I love those guys.
Yes.
All right, Bonesaw, who was your favorite stock footage?
It's always happy bald man clapping.
Happy bald man.
I like that guy. And I saw him way more last year, but this year I got to see him again, and I am equally as happy.
Now I was trying to decide, was that the same exact stock footage from last year?
It was the exact same.
Yeah, I recognized it with the soda sip girl.
Okay. Yeah. Because I couldn't decide if they had like mixed in some new stuff with some of the old, but it definitely felt like it was just the same stuff. Which that perfectly defines what they're going for, right? Like it's just rehashed, it's just remastered. There's so much content here to talk about. So Cinco Miller.
What was your favorite?
What was my favorite?
Do you have a favorite stock footage?
I liked the perm lady. I mean, she's
the perm lady.
She was like in her 50s or 60s, and she's sitting there like mouth full of popcorn, like occasionally clapping. She's looking around, and like nobody else.
She's got
notices.
the glasses on, those huge glasses.
Oh shit!
Nobody else notices she exists. She's just sort of there. So anyway, we have Cinco Miller walk out onto the stage, and he's our very permanent CEO, which immediately to me says he's not going to make it through the episode.
Yeah, Cinco.
Yeah, that's you never want to be given the title of permanent something.
Death via thesaurus, I think, is what happened to poor Cinco here.
Yeah, and it was kind of rough. He said, give it up for the expo. He started talking about. We had our efficiencies modulated this year, which I
tried to write some of them down. Man, he was
It was all going into the center sphere. Mm-hmm. Were you picking up what he was putting down?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I was picking up the gist of it, right? That we had some 4K Ultra HD. I think we got a glimpse of this with the Battletoads preview earlier. Some vague, bold fonts that don't actually say anything. So, I think Cinco really hit his mark. I want to say that. I do think that's
I
true.
think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think his efficiencies were modulated today, Bonesaw?
I definitely think that gamer lingo went way over my head.
I think that was the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
More like Quattro. Am I right, guys?
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotta tone it down.
Yeah. So we had a lot of buzzwords about our player base, which I thought that was when I really connected to it. I was kind of out of it for a while, but when they brought it back to the player base, that's when I realized I'm going to give my money to Devolver for the rest of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It was a way that, after they had said a whole bunch of really interesting and great things, that they could relate it back to me, because, being a mindless consumer, obviously I can't process any sort of information if it's not through a lens that's exactly, through something I can understand.
Exactly.
Right.
Into your quote unquote moronic gobbling maw.
That's a good one.
Exactly.
I really like that too. So many good quotes from this. So right as Cinco was getting into the swing of things and he was ready to announce Devolver's foray into the Battle Royale play space, he met his unfortunate demise, slain live on the stream right there in front of our eyes. What did you think? How did you feel when Cinco fell right before our eyes? How did you feel?
I felt bad.
I felt correctly so, that it was a portent of murders to come. That's what I felt.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
I felt that was the least of my worries, actually.
It was at that moment I realized that we were at a Devolver conference. Yeah.
It was good to see Nina again. I wasn't sure what they were going to do. I actually wasn't sure if they were going to bring her back after her sort of Cthulhu-like, plea to the old elder gods at the end of the last conference. But she seems to have made it out unscathed so far.
Yeah, I thought she was dead.
Yeah, resurrected or something like that. Anyway, she seemed in pristine shape.
Yes.
Even better shape than last year.
Mm-hmm. Definitely less blood just pouring out of her mouth, at least at the beginning of the conference. So
I think the blood soaking into her pores actually made her look younger.
Oh, that's what I've heard about that cleanse. It's really
the blood cleanse.
All right, so Nina makes her return. She gets rid of Cinco from the stage, and her opening speech to us was that they were listening to our feedback, that it was not professional, and that we needed to have guest appearances from people we kind of sort of recognize but don't otherwise care about. And we get the Greg Miller cameo, which I thought was very fitting.
Hit the exact button of people I kind of sort of recognize but don't care about. Just absolutely nailed it for me.
I think they could have gone with young Kev though too. That would have.
Yeah. I think that was just the cherry on top of the cake, was having her son up on stage repping that young Kev feel that we all need and desire for.
Yeah, Jeffrey, he was really doing great in all those games he was playing.
Yeah. I props to Jeffrey. I mean, there's so much
shout
pressure.
outs to Jeffrey.
He's a good boy.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so we hear about this, the guest appearances. Anyway, her whole speech this time to us was that 2018. This is 2018. This is marketing. This is how we do it. We got a guy playing a pre-scripted game on the stage.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Our next game, we don't really understand why you like it, but it's going to be huge numbers. And then we get this trailer for Scum Season 2. And
definitely missed out on Scum Season 1.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't say I participated.
Yeah. I have a note here that just says drone man poop. So that's kind of what my main takeaway from that trailer, I think.
Yeah, we get to see this trailer, and the drone flies in at the start, and then they say something about we are going to be there for the most intimate moments. And there's a guy going to the bathroom, and then we get the screen, the transition titles, and it's Scum Season 2. I thought this was
No.
appropriate for Devolver. I mean, I feel like this was kind of what I expected. There was an appropriate amount of gore in this
Yeah.
trailer,
Yep.
fitting for the conference. Other than that, I don't know much about the game.
Did either of you look up anything about it?
I did actually.
No.
I went to the
Okay.
website afterwards, which I was glad to find out was a real website because I was actually thinking we were just going to be trolled through this whole thing.
The whole thing, just like fake games, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell us in like 10 seconds what the game is?
Well, it's very early details here, but Steam Early Access. It's looking like it's something along the lines of potentially like a battle royale. I don't know. I'd have to look into it a little bit more than that, but something along those lines. They showed in the trailer there, the end, there's the mech that's going up to that guy and crushing him with the smiley face. Apparently that's a like an icon of scum. So shows how much I know. But
Yeah, we weren't. I don't feel like I really got I understand sort of the vibe that Scum is going for. I couldn't tell you really what the gameplay is going to be like. Is I think where I'm at.
I think the bigger point is that it's going to be huge. You're going to buy it.
I was about to say, yeah. That all being said, I'm definitely already bought. I've pre-ordered 3 copies. It's Steam Early Access, so I'm in on that. I kickstarted it, which is actually they don't actually. There's no benefits at all, but it's just a Kickstarter. Just if you want to throw money into a void, you can do that, and so I did that too.
Nice.
So,
well, early access summer 2018, and the website scumgame.com, which I guess we'll spend some more time looking at to understand it. But that was their first showcase here. Did you see anything in the trailer, Bonesaw, that stood out to you?
I don't know. I thought that Wolfman getting his head blown off was very profound, and it might make me consider picking up a copy so that I can.
did it move you?
Yeah, it really spoke to me.
It's good.
You and I were both watching this together, and at that exact moment, neither one of us was expecting it to happen, and I think we both kind of jumped at it.
Yeah, I definitely jumped at it, but then I took a good look at it and I thought, man, that is what happened to me earlier today when I saw Funko Pop on my stream.
Absolutely. No, I definitely had a similar experience. Can definitely relate to that.
Is Gears
my.
Pop the kind of thing they're going for here with you're just going to buy it anyway? I feel like it is.
Yeah, probably.
Ugh.
God.
Oof.
God help
Let's get
us.
started. That one was presented unironically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's no problem there.
All right, so we have the Scum game gets shown, and then immediately transitioning into the most important topic of the night,
Of course.
loot
Yep.
boxes. I'm so glad they addressed this. It takes a big publisher, usually like an EA, to admit that this is a growing problem in the industry. But we have Devolver, humble Devolver, teaching us that loot boxes exist, and that us being the consumer idiots that we are, we will buy them anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, and as we were just talking about before this call began, I think we've gotten sort of proof of the concept already. If it's to be believed, it seems as if all of the loot box coins have been bought.
Yeah,
Yep.
jumping a little bit ahead here, but yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that. So they said, they're pitching about the loot boxes and how we just keep buying them. So they unleashed their own, in combination with cryptocurrency. They had this kind of rant about cryptocurrency and how you're just giving artificial value to something, and everybody is a financial expert now. So they combined the two ideas and made loot box coin.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
this is a coin that you can purchase at lootboxcoin.com with a variable value every hour you
Where
go
are we at
there.
right now?
What is the current value? I was at 150 the last
I
time.
at 150 right now.
50. Okay. It started at 131.
Okay.
That's what it debuted at.
And it went down to 127 before, and now it's
Yep.
back up again.
Yeah, 150 right now.
So you got to get in while you can.
I wonder how long it'll be until we get a nice tracker up somewhere where we can see the price fluctuations over time.
I want like CoinDesk.com. I want to have my Bitcoin, my Ethereum, and my loot box coin right on the sideline there.
I want, if you track the prices and like convert the numbers into letters, I want it to say like "fuck you" or something. That's what I'm really looking forward to. I want there to be a secret message embedded in the price of loot box coin.
That would be awesome.
That'd be great.
It's amazing.
Have a
So
new Nicolas Cage movie about the hidden message in a loot box
Yeah,
coin.
it just says the Constitution. That's just spells out the words the Constitution.
now listen to these features of loot box coin. It has no known value.
Yep,
It's totally unregulated, and it is the global standard in meaningless wealth.
that's right.
Now here's the thing I was thinking about. At what point does the distinction between ironic currency and real currency, like I feel like there's very small distinction. If people decided to one day wake up and pay for a goods or a service via loot box coin, would that be Devolver's like ultimate victory, or would that be their ultimate failure? That's what I want to know.
Oh man.
You know?
I mean, I think just by virtue of them putting this up on the website and having people go there and add it to their cart, I think they've already accomplished something.
You think that's already
Yeah.
that's like whatever happens after that is just frosting right there.
Yep, yep. They just let it go. Let it go.
Okay.
I love this too. They really emphasized it. The only way to get it, there's no wallets. There's
Yep.
no exchanges. It is only to give Devolver Digital your own money directly.
Yep.
Which I love. It takes out the middleman. You know.
Yeah,
I love that.
eliminating the middleman. That's right.
Right. Right.
Well, I would like to also announce my foray into the coin market, and that is subscriber coin. And here's how it works. You just subscribe to this channel because you love the content so much that you feel compelled to buy a tier 3 subscription.
And
Not
tell me
only-
about the benefits of subscriber coin.
Well, let me tell you about subscriber coin. There is no known value other than my own personal gain and your own loss. And you should know better, but it's totally unregulated. So that makes you feel really, really warm. And it's the global standard in meaningless wealth.
I do have one question about subscriber coin, if I may ask it.
Yeah.
Have you implemented the blockchain?
Look, blockchain. Look, I'm all about I'm all about eliminating buzzwords. Okay, so blockchain, we're over that. That's
Okay.
We don't need to track where the money's been as long as it gets into my wallet eventually. That's all I care
There
about.
you go.
Hey, it looks like you've got your first investor here. Your day one.
Oh my lord! It's
Your second one.
unregulated.
I'm rich.
This is amazing.
I'm rich on subscriber coin.
Oh my god, this is taking off.
What can now? Quick question. Now that I have my subscriber coin, what can I get with it?
Well, look, it's not important, okay? Like, what you can get with your subscriber coin isn't important. This is the most important part right here.
Give us your hard-earned money.
That's the only important part, okay?
Oh man.
Give us your hard-earned money.
Is that a new donation sound for you there, Golden?
It might have to be, yeah. That is the that's from Devolver last year, so I really took that to heart and tried to make it my own philosophy. So I think we might have succeeded in making that possible. So loot box coin, are you guys looking to buy? Are you thinking? Are you on the edge? Are you on the fence? What's the plan?
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence here. I mean, I'm waiting for this value of this coin to go up before I purchase it.
You know, Bonesaw, that's exactly what I was going to say. I called up
See?
my investment agent,
Hmm.
and I put a buy order for it to only buy once it's at least $300.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's the premium purchase package right there.
Right.
I'm glad to see that we already have some experts arising on the loot box coin because
My financial expert is, of course, my 3-year-old niece.
There you go. It's perfect.
There you go. So after the loot box coin gets unveiled, which I thought like that's the peak. What more could they possibly do? You know, this is it. This is the pinnacle, and this is the reason why we are gathered here today. We end up having this conversation. It seems like a heckler at first, but really he's just an informative guy. You know, it's the GIF versus GIF debate. You know, GIF gets said on the stage, and this guy in the crowd, he just can't accept that because GIF is the proper pronunciation as dictated by the creator of the acronym. Where do you guys stand on the GIF versus GIF debate?
GIF.
GIF.
Fuck.
There's a split opinion here, but you got to be careful about which side you're on, especially if Nina's on the stage.
Yeah, so I will say if I was there, it would be a GIF, of course. I'm just whatever goes.
All right, so Karulius, tell us what happened here when the audience member pointed out that it was a GIF. What ended up happening?
We had what we call in the industry a classic flamethrower heckle. We saw this at E3 2013 with the Konami one. They were announcing a Konami game, and we had it, but it wasn't over GIF versus GIF. It was over. Interestingly, years before, I know it was over whether or not the dress was black or gold.
Whoa!
Okay. It was the first one. People forget about this, where it actually originated. But yeah, that man also died to a flamethrower.
Actually, earlier in the year too, somebody died when they picked Laurel.
That I've heard that.
There
I heard that. Yeah. So really, Devolver here actually breaks away from their ironic sort of approach to the conference, and really gives like a kind of a sincere sort of appeal to like E3's history, which I loved personally. I really loved it.
It really spoke to you.
Yeah. I liked it.
Now, Bonesai, I know you actually are paying extreme attention to detail here, and you noticed that something was different after the man was set on fire. What was different?
That he had a beard magically.
He had a beard magically. So the flamethrower is capable of producing facial hair?
I believe that is correct.
Yeah, I think it could have been some sort of like a critique, perhaps, of the of modern capitalism.
Yeah, maybe it was a metaphor. Maybe the flamethrower was a metaphor.
Yeah, great point.
For my moronic gobbling maw, and I just love just eating up all of this cringe-worthy content, and I just can't get enough of it, So
Give us your hard-earned money.
That's right, and that's exactly what I want to do. So there you go.
Well, yes, we had an interesting moment there where she was forced to kind of step out of character. I mean, we don't expect these kinds of behaviors from Nina, but unfortunately, she did have to remove an audience member for this vile uprising.
You hate to see it happen, really.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. So following that, once everything calmed down, we got to debut another game. Actually, we got to see a trailer for My Friend Pedro, Blood, Bullets, Bananas, and maybe this is the reason we had all three of these in the stage. We saw bananas sporadically throughout the crowd. We definitely saw a lot of blood, and I think there were a bullet or two in there. This game, I liked the action. Kind of looks fun. I like that the bullets are bouncing off of things and you can reflect them off of things. What did you guys think?
Karulius can go first.
All right.
Okay, I'm up. I've seen gifs of this. If you'll pardon it.
I'll allow it.
I've seen them going around Twitter for months now. And I've seen, like, I don't know if you remembered the specific part. It was like the skateboard part right at the end. He's like skateboarding through. He like jumps up, kicks the skateboard at a guy's head, like shoots another one, kicks that guy's head at another guy. And I was way in already. I didn't even know it was part of Devolver. So I've been excited for this without like knowing really anything about it for a while. But it's cool to see it for real.
Yeah, I was actually genuinely impressed with some of the stuff you could do. I really liked the frying pan as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a part where he tosses a frying pan into the air and starts shooting bullets at it, and it bounces off and reflects and kills a bunch of enemies that he's not even on the same floor as. He's able to just kind of take advantage of the reflections. Boneside, what did you think of the game?
I think it looks incredible, actually. Really fluid. Again, the only thing that I could think of was the speedrunning potential of that. I really want to see somebody go fast in that game. Definitely.
Nice. Yeah, I think overall of the announcements that we had, that one, I mean, just from the gameplay that we saw anyway, it looked interesting to me. So
yeah, I totally agree. I think that it reminded me sort of the way it feels to like play Super Hot really well. Sort of like dodging the bullets, jumping through slow motion, everybody dies. It's just really cool.
I don't know if anybody in this chat has ever been to addictinggames.com in their childhood, but if anybody knows the Matrix bullet time flash shooters of like the early 2000s.
You're talking about like the Stickman games?
Yeah,
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, those ones. It really, really reminded me of that. And I'm like, man, I'm getting a video game of like what I used to play in computer class back in the day.
Yeah. I think it looks a little bit more refined than that, though. That's why I'm interested. It looks like there's a lot of different things you can do. Kind of creative ways to kill. There was one part, too, where like he threw a gasoline can and then shot the gasoline can and exploded a bunch of enemies. So it seems like there's a lot of interactables or like other ways to bounce your bullets off of things and cause things to happen. So, yeah, it looked interesting. And
I have nothing ironic to say about it. It just looks cool.
Yeah, honestly.
Yep.
Yep.
Believe it or not, in the Devolver recap,
it actually looks good.
Yeah. But then we get into the other important discussion of the year, and that is the game collections of yesteryear. And this is another important topic that needed to be brought up and addressed. And Devolver handling it once again. They say that, we are willing to pay for these games that are 20 years old at 3 times the price that we should be spending. And we go outside of not the good Taco Bell, the sketchy Taco Bell, to make these transactions. Have you guys ever made a transaction outside of a sketchy Taco Bell?
Once. Bought a loot box coin.
Oh.
That's where you got your loot box coin.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you bought aftermarket loot box coin?
Yeah.
There's only one place you can buy loot box coin, and that is giving money directly to Devolver.
That's
you got
right.
counterfeit loot box coin.
Damn it.
Us your hard-earned money.
You did it wrong, Bonesaw.
There's one rule.
Only give to Devolver and Devolver only.
Yeah. So they tell us that they are going to reveal their own classic system, and it's the Devolver Digital Entertainment System Classic. And I love this name because it's going directly after the NES Classic. It's just Devolver Digital Entertainment System Classic, and they're just firing at the big boys. But it turns out it's not a real thing.
Yeah, and poor Jeffrey.
Poor
Yeah.
Jeffrey.
But you had to see it coming.
That boy deserved better.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey, unfortunately, he's the demo guy on the stage. He decides that he is going to rat them out and tell them it's actually just a painted Dreamcast, and he pays the price for doing that. And how does he get beat up, Bonesaw? What happens to him?
Oh, she just whips out her little police baton there and proceeds to beat the ever-loving shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which can you blame her?
No, I really
No.
can't. He reminded
Yeah.
me of young Kev anyway, so you know what? Fuck
Just-
that guy. I don't
You
care.
just can't blame her for that behavior.
No, I cannot.
Nope. So he unfortunately is just brutally just crushed on the stage and escorted off the stage. I love that they used the same gimmick of like the stage rat running across the stage.
Yeah.
Like, they did that last year too, just like dragged the bodies off the stage. So that was
And
cool.
what was her name? Was it Monica? What was it? The other girl.
I can't remember
I don't
her
remember.
name.
Maybe
She
it was.
she jumps on the thing's back to like ride it off
Yep.
stage.
Yeah,
That's
she,
Oh,
rides,
yeah, yeah.
she rides the
Yeah.
stage rat off stage.
That's funny.
So anyway, Jeffrey, unfortunately, also not making it through this conference. And then we are left with just Nina. And when Nina is in power, amazing things happen. And this, I actually did not see this coming at all. This is
I know.
Wow, they really dug back for this one. 2004, Metal Wolf Chaos, getting a remaster here for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Okay, what did you think about this?
I thought this was awesome. Well, first of all, okay. I mean, it's going to be pretty hard to not get a little political here, but
Go
like,
for
I
it.
mean, if there's ever been like an environment to have the president in Metal Wolf Chaos, to ever relate to sort of have some real world sort of parallels to draw. Perhaps this is the most appropriate time in history to revive this particular.
Do you
gem.
think were they holding out on this? Like, what
They had to have been?
Were they like waiting for the right moment to re-release Metal Wolf Chaos?
I'm thinking November 28th or whatever, right? They get on the phone and they're like, "Get me Metal Wolf Chaos."
We'll pay
and they've been
any
working
amount
on
of
it
money.
for like a year and a half. they're trying their best.
And they really pulled out all the stops. I mean, the website is mechamericagreatagain.com. I mean, this.
I'm surprised they're not selling hats, to be honest with you.
That's got to be the next thing. I mean, if we got a loot box coin,
Give us your
I
hard-earned
think that would sell
money.
well too. Yeah, give us the money. So
But yeah, I mean, we've all seen that. Most likely, everybody here. I mean, at least us three, and probably everybody in the chat has seen this before at a GDQ, or at least has some awareness of this. And
I'm
Yeah,
interested to
it's
see
really
like
cool
what
seeing.
the average reaction is to it, because I don't feel like Metal Wolf Chaos is a well-known game.
no,
But
it's certainly mentioned in the same breath as Pepsi Man, I would say.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, among our sort of circle, I would say that everybody is familiar with it, and so to see that this is getting remastered, it's kind of a surprise. I couldn't believe this franchise was coming back, or this game was coming back, I should say. And getting a remaster in 2018. So
Pretty cool.
yeah, I don't even think did they show a lot of like the remaster itself. It seemed like it was very brief segments of actual footage, but then it was more just like, hey, reminder, it's coming back.
No, I think they just like busted out of the White House, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah. So there it is, though. So that's the third and the final game that we saw here from Devolver at the Big Happy Fun Conference of 2018. But before everything was all said and done, we had to have some sort of grotesque, violent finish.
Well, we definitely had Bananas and Blood already, but we maybe we're missing 1B.
Yeah, we didn't quite have the bullets to go with it. So this is interesting, and a throwback to last year. Who was this that had his arm? Do we know the guy's name? Had his arm taken off by the computer?
Can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Nope.
No, we don't. Okay, we don't remember his name. But in any case, last year he put his hand in the computer, and it didn't come back out of the computer, and he was bleeding everywhere. But it looks like this year he was ready for revenge, and he gunned Nina down. Can you describe for me how violent that attack was on Nina?
Bonesaw?
Violent.
Mm.
Exceptionally. She got mowed down harder than Willem Dafoe, I would say. Jesus. And she
How
landed.
cool was that? I'm so
That was
hyped,
pretty
you
cool.
guys.
Pretty cool.
She landed on something too that wasn't there before.
She had a
What did she
had
land on?
quite a lot of red dye and corn syrup kind of pouring out of her mouth there at the end.
Yeah, she did.
Poor Nina. Yeah. I think that this is kind of an interesting part, though, right, in the Devolver conference, because it's sort of began with the the return of the armless guy, but there appears to be a narrative.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
So
right.
I was wondering if we're getting teased with this as well. So we have Nina's destruction, which, by the way, I think this also sums up the attack there.
Golden, I'm loving your transition into a morning drive to work DJ. I have to say, I'm absolutely looking
Yeah.
forward to the boing.
Yeah, that's all I'm good for anymore. So you only get that on my channel. It's what we might call an
Exclusive.
Oh shit.
yeah. So anyway, we have. I guess I have a future career. I don't know. But anyway, so Nina is destroyed, but then we get this lore, and they cut away from the conference, and I'm assuming we have Nina being restored. This is like Nina, they're preserving her life and rebuilding her. We can rebuild. Is that what was going on?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
seem to have a $1 Million Man scenario, classic $1 Million Man going on. So I mean, we're clearly going in, I guess, to next year's conference with Robo Nina going to be sort of heading up the whole deal.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if maybe that was also a hint to us to explain why she was able to come back in the first place this year.
Oh, I see. I see. They gotta tie up those lore threads, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unanswered questions. I want to know more about Nina.
me too, man.
Well, here we go, guys. Do you know? This is my prediction. Next year we get another one. We get another of these conferences, and they do some other ridiculous stuff. But the main thing that's different next year, the one game they announce, is the game of the E3 conference, like set in this world.
Oh my gosh.
A
Okay.
meta
Whoa.
game,
Whoa.
right? You play as Nina, Robo Nina, and you're trying to defeat
You're trying to host an E3
Blod
conference.
Bloward, right?
Yeah, you're trying to host an E3 conference when suddenly somebody in the crowd tries to correct your pronunciation of GIF.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or of GIF, rather. My bad. I got to get that right. I got to work. I might be right.
You're dead. You're
You're
you
gonna
just
be the
lost.
next one.
I
You're
can't
gonna be in
over.
the game, man.
I can't play this game, apparently. It's too hard for me. I need a lower difficulty setting.
So is this definitely the first time that there's been a running narrative in an E3 conference?
I think so. I can't remember any other time that there was something like this happening.
Yeah, I don't know. Outside of like gimmicks that start a conference where like you know, the master sword is upheld and then like it's brought onto the stage or something, like, you know, from the trailer to the stage sort of things. No, I don't think we've had any sort of continuous lore.
Now, if you'll allow me just a moment to pull away from the irony to ask a kind of a question about the Devolver conference. Do the big video game companies need to change their approach or respond to this?
I would say that they probably aren't going to in any case. And that's part of the reason why this conference exists. I feel like it's able to capitalize on all of the dumb things. You know, the parody that's there is very obvious. And I think last year people had a tough time with it. I mean, myself included, I was very confused at what I was watching. But I'm understanding it more this year, and I completely get it. And I think it's hilarious that they're taking these sort of like, why are you people spending money on this? But you'll do it anyway because you're brain dead. You know, like I think that this is kind of needed because it's a wake up call for everybody.
Yeah.
Now will like other conferences respond to this? No, absolutely not. I mean, EA will continue.
But do you think they're like internally respond? I don't know. I just have this like dream that internally there's some man in a suit who looks just like the guy in their stock footage, who's like actually like upset about this. I'm just gonna have that man lives in my brain only, but he's nestled deep inside there, and that's where I like him. So
it's like Phil Spencer goes home at the end of the day, and he's like, "Let me see how the other conferences went," and he cracks open the Devolver conference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He gets the anime like 3 things on his like temple because he's like so mad.
There's a vein just like popping out of his head while he's watching.
That's my dream.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a necessary commentary on the state of the games industry. I think that I'm trying to decide. I think it's made for us that are like really into it. You know, like if you're just a casual observer, this is going to make no sense to you. Like you're going to see it and say like, I don't understand what the point of this is. But yeah, I ultimately I don't think it's going to change anything, right? I mean, the big companies don't care.
Satire never does.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the ongoing plots, that's the only thing I would want. I want like the story of Reggie.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if we were to look back at the Nintendo Directs, we could find an example where Bill Trennan and Reggie's like conversation or something is like referenced to over a couple of directs in a row or something.
And they're always self-contained. It's like
I know.
There was the claymation one, like you know, Reggie like laser beams the guy who wants Mother 3.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But no ongoing lore. So I guess we'll have to stay tuned to. Who knows? Maybe we'll get that later in the week here.
You get lucky.
So overall, what are we going to say for expectations of Devolver? What were your expectations going in? Did they meet your expectations? And what is your report card grade for the Devolver conference? We'll start with Bonesaw.
My expectations for this were literally nothing. I thought that it was just going to be violent and everybody was going to die.
Did that meet your expectation?
Well, 2 people, 3 died, I guess, if you count Nina. But she didn't really die. She kind of came back a little bit. But honestly, I wasn't expecting literally any game on on the most real, basic, primitive level of this conference. Was I expecting any games that I would think I would potentially buy? No. But then I got my friend Pedro out of it, so my expectations were met.
They were met?
Brutally, honestly met.
All right, let's hear your report card. What's the score for Devolver?
A++.
A++. There it is. There it is. Oh my gosh, hold on.
The quality bar in gameplay was raised yet again this year.
Wow, they really stepped it up. All right, Kay, what do you think?
Okay, so I went in. I've been a fan of Devolver since before they were doing this mess. I like the games they publish. I like Hotline Miami and a bunch of other stuff. I mean, Enter the Gungeon, stuff like that. But I didn't go into this expecting to come out with like, oh, I gotta have that game. Like, you don't watch this for that.
No.
So I definitely gotta agree with Bonesaw that like the fact that there was stuff I was interested in at all, made it like worth it. So, you don't watch Devolver for the games, but yet there were still some cool games. So, yeah, I guess I'm gonna go with 3 loot box coins out of 1 loot box coin. So,
wow,
that's a 300% victory as far as I'm concerned.
You better get rid of those before they start to lose value.
Yeah, careful. Gotta dump my stock.
Wow, 3 out of 1. That is, we've never given that score.
3 out of 1 on my
That's
report card.
incredible.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you this. I was going into it fully expecting just, total utter domination of the game industry. And it really didn't deliver. I was so disappointed. I thought that this was going to be the year that Devolver rose up and walked away, with all of the money. And at the end of the day, there's still money to be gained. So maybe next year they'll acquire all of the wealth, but in the meantime, I'm going to give this one a very solid score. I'm going to give it a...
Give us your hard-earned money.
That's right. I'm gonna
give us
what's happening?
Hard-earned money.
I'm
give
not doing
us
anything.
Your hard-earned money. Give
I can't control
your
it.
Hard-earned
Oh my God, Bonesaw, what's happening to your arm? Bonesaw, are you okay?
Oh no, I'm trying to just give my money.
Give us.
Oh my God.
I'm trying as hard as I can.
Bonesaw, is your arm okay?
Ah, no.
Oh my God.
I need fake blood.
Give us your hard-earned money.
Hey, are you gonna be okay?
The money's just flying out of my wallet.
Oh my God.
No.
Give us
Whoa.